I think, conducive prime areas for the disease to breed?
Oh yeah, I mean, overcrowding, as an example, just to illustrate the point, anyone who has this infectious form of tuberculosis, when you cough, let's say cough for more than 2 weeks, you have a expectorant, it's yellowish with blood, weight loss, then you likely have TB. Now, these sort of persons are infectious. Just the one person living in the household over the year, he or she will infect 10 to 15 people.
Wow. Highly contagious.
It is contagious, yes. This particular form. There's different forms. There are those that are contagious and there are those that are not contagious. This one is the one that, is like in Pidgin they say market TB.
Oh, yeah.
There's a coin that we use for market TB. You are marketing this TB by just singing, shouting, speaking, sneezing. It travels in the air, and anyone who breathes it in gets infected.
I guess the danger is people don't know whether you have this marketable TB or whatever, and they're next to you, and you're getting it and you don't realize it.
That's the risk, and especially in that close setting, in the household or in the home, that's where it is a big issue. Okay. And so the message that we've given out, and the good news is that this message has gone out from the highest level. You see our Prime Minister's picture on the board, and urging people to get in if they're coughing for more than 2 weeks and all that, to get themselves examined. And when you get examined, then that's when we get that regimen. Okay. If it's identified, you diagnose the TB problem, and then the patient is started on treatment, and you watch them like a hound dog. Yeah. Every dose that's given, you make sure that they get a drug until they complete it, but that's not the end of it all. We need to be sure. We need to get evidence by looking at it under the microscope or growing this particular bacilli at the end of the treatment regimen. And then we declare you as cured. This is the dangerous form. But there's the other form, which is called the extrapulmonary form of TB, or outside the lung. TB blow you yet. That's a statement we've coined as well, inside you. It's gone in because it's your system has not been strong, and then it gets into you, and that's what will kill you. Wow. If you don't get your medicine well. Now, having said it will kill you, there's certain people who might have strength to fight it, but generally speaking, if this germ spreads in that setting, you can have a fatal outcome.
Okay, so our ability, excuse me, our ability to treat people and medication, it is there.
Yes.
It is how patients or people understand it and do their part to ensure that they don't die from it.
But also our part too, to know and then be able to help get them through that process and execute the treatment and ensure that we get them all to completion.
Prime Minister has publicly talked about TB. It means that you're getting government support. There is government support all the way down.
At the highest level, yes, there's advocacy, and our own minister has got a high-level committee. It's called Ministerial Task Force, which is including other high-level government bodies. So they meet and discuss all the other issues that relate to how we can deal with the TB challenge. But as you know, we are in a situation where economic times are also challenging, and we are working hard towards how we can get the funding to come in. Having said what I have said, there's also been a lot of support, and that support has come many years now, and that has helped us in enabling us to move forward the TB challenge. And that's alluding to Global Fund that's come in and helped us in terms of the TB challenge. But also here we are, World Health Organization, Dr. Pieter van Maaren, and the technical expertise and support has been very crucial. I remember a decade or two ago, we didn't have that kind of support. We just were working at it nationally. And when we initiated, or when the strategy where WHO has brought that strategy through, they call it the DOT strategy, which was what was then, you know, the way to move forward with the TB control in the globe. WHO came on board, and that's when we got the top TB consultants to come in and help us through. And at that same time, the Global Fund was also initiated, and it was made available, and that support was very, very strong. But of course, our other bilateral partners like the DFAT and others who technically have expertise have also joined us in that support.
Okay.
Help.
Well, Doctor, you might tell us about that support that you've given in and elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, as Dr. Dakulala mentioned, we provide technical expertise. We have at the moment in country 2 TB experts who are working with the National Department of Health in developing the right strategies and interventions that will bring down the TB problem. We also have, as World Health Organization, we have access to expertise from our regional office, from our headquarter office in Geneva, where people are working on developing new strategies, guidelines that will help countries implement their TB program in a better and more effective way. You know that like any field in health, tuberculosis control is also developing, and new diagnostic tools which allows you to identify patients with TB earlier and in a more reliable way. These are being developed and are coming in the market, and we are then assisting the countries with implementing those new tools. Also for the development of new drugs, WHO is providing in a lot of support to organizations to assist them with coming up with new drugs, because as was mentioned earlier, drug-resistant TB is a problem, and if you have drug-resistant TB, you need other drugs that can help you still cure the disease. But that is one of the areas that at the moment in Papua New Guinea is a real challenge.